Once a thriving figure in the music industry, Dan Mulligan now resides in New York City, separated from his wife, Miriam, and grappling with the ever-evolving music landscape. His termination leads to a reckless drinking spree, eventually bringing him to a bar in the Lower East Side, where he encounters Gretta James. Gretta, a young and fiercely independent English songwriter, has recently parted ways with her longtime boyfriend and songwriting partner, Dave Cohol. Dave, who has achieved newfound success as a musician, had an affair with a production assistant. Dan is entranced by Gretta's music and proposes signing her to his former record label. Despite her initial refusal, Gretta eventually agrees. Together, Dan and Gretta meet with Saul, Dan's business partner, and the label's co-founder. Unfortunately, Saul doesn't share the same enthusiasm for Gretta and turns her down. Undeterred, Dan suggests they produce their own album. Recorded live at various public locations throughout the city during the summer, they assemble a talented team of musicians, including Steve, an old friend of Gretta's and a street performer. They set out to create a publishable album. Throughout this journey, Dan and Gretta build both personal and professional bonds. Gretta mentors Dan's teenage daughter, Violet, who is an aspiring guitarist, and encourages her to contribute to the album. When Gretta sees Dave accepting an award on television, she criticizes him for succumbing to the music industry. With Steve's help, she expresses her grievances through a song recorded on Dave's voicemail. Dave, filled with remorse, calls her back and requests a meeting to discuss their albums. During their critique session, Gretta feels betrayed by Dave's overly commercialized version of Lost Stars, a love ballad she had crafted as a heartfelt gift. She believes the song's true essence has been compromised, but Dave insists that the audience's enthusiasm fills the room. He argues that music is about sharing it with people, while Gretta maintains it wasn't her intention for that song. Nonetheless, Dave invites her to his performance at the Gramercy Theater. When their album is completed, Dan and Gretta meet Saul once again. He is highly impressed with their collaboration, but Gretta insists on a better deal for herself. Despite leaving the meeting without an agreement, Dan is confident that Saul will eventually come around to signing Gretta. Later, after much contemplation and a reminder from Dave about his concert, Gretta arrives at the venue just in time to hear Dave perform her original arrangement of the song. Initially elated by the rendition, she becomes disheartened when the audience's cheers reach a climax. Realizing that too much has changed, she departs the concert, cycling through the city with a newfound sense of hope and closure. Subsequently, Gretta visits Dan at his apartment as he reconciles with his wife. She informs him that she prefers not to have him release her album, opting instead to distribute it online for $1. He consents to Gretta's online album release and helps in its promotion. The following day, Saul jokingly fires Dan for promoting Gretta's album and shares that it sold 10,000 copies on its first day of release. Thanks for watching. To catch all the latest from us, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new video drops. We'll see you in the next one.